So today we're going to talk about portrait photography. When you're taking portrait photography, you really want to take into account what is in the background of your photos. You don't want any weird objects sprouting or shooting up from somebody's head. So you just want to make sure that you are looking at the surroundings and seeing what is behind your subject. Some elements and principles that you will see with portrait photography are going to be emphasis, rule of thirds, and symmetrical balance. And when you are taking pictures, you want to think about your colors, you want to show personality and the character of your subject. So when we're talking about colors, if somebody is wearing a white shirt, we want to make sure that we're not putting them in front of a white backdrop because then they will end up blending in with the backdrop. So you just want to think about some different colors. So if you look at all three of these pictures, the colors are nice. There's nothing that's blending in. Everything kind of stands out from the backgrounds. So those are just what you want to think about. When you are taking pictures of other people, when you're working with strangers, you want to make sure that you're comfortable with them, ask them questions, maintain eye contact when speaking with them. You want to show interest and just make them feel comfortable as you're photographing them. So there are two types of portraits that you are going to try within this project. You're going to try formal portraits and candid portraits, but we're going to talk about formal portraits first. Formal portraits are the simplest style, and it should emphasize the person and nothing else. So all three of these images are examples of formal portraits. For those of you who have had a school picture taken, you have had a formal portrait taken of yourself because all it is you and the background and nothing else. Another important part of formal portraiture is that the subject is looking straight at the camera and maintaining eye contact with the lens. For candid portraits, it's a little bit different. You're capturing a person going through everyday life. You don't pose the subject. You want to include the background. So as you can see, this person who's working, we've included the place that they are working. And you want to catch expressions, and the subject should be focused but not posed. So another important thing about candid portraits is that the subject normally is not looking at the lens. They're looking away, okay? So you are going to try formal portraits and candid portraits. You will take a picture with, at this point, you guys are probably done with your backdrops, so you're going to take a picture with all the different backdrops in the hallway. You'll have a couple days to do this, and then you are going to choose the best 6 pictures that you have taken and upload them to the assignment in Teams. You are not going to be editing these pictures at all, so you want to make sure that your angles are good. You want to make sure that your framing is good. You want to make sure that the pictures are not blurry or out of focus. And you can either use formal or candid portraiture. You want to make sure that you're looking for distracting elements in the background and make sure that everything is level and straight. So just some things to keep in mind as you are taking your pictures. So some things to not do, okay? Do not take a picture of somebody and cut their body off and all it is their head. All right, this isn't a very good portrait. We don't want to do something like this. So you want to include more of the person, not just their head. Another thing that you need to watch out for is when you are taking a picture of somebody in front of a backdrop, you want to make sure the only thing in the image is the backdrop and the person that you are taking a picture of. So I know it's black and white, but over here on the side is where the backdrop stops, and this is included in the picture. We don't want this. You will lose points for this. So make sure that the only thing in the picture is the backdrop and the person. Same with this image, just a little bit different. Now we can see the top. So we need to make sure that our framing is good. We don't want to have this up here showing. We just want the backdrop and the subject. Another thing you need to watch for is cutting somebody off at the joints. So the joints would include the elbows, the wrists, the knees, and the ankles. So if you see in this picture, someone took a picture of me and cut off, trying to move this, cut off my feet. And so now it looks like I'm just standing on my ankles and not on my feet. So we don't want to do this. We want to make sure that we're not cutting off at the joints. That is also another thing that you will lose points for. So those are just some of the don'ts of taking portrait pictures. But you're going to need 6 in total, and then you will upload them to the team's assignment, and it's probably going to be named portraiture.